You're feeling frustrated. You're stumbling repeatedly, facing failure after failure, and success feels impossibly out of reach. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself why? The truth is harsh but simple. You don't have a clear, actionable plan. Without direction, you're just spinning in circles. That's exactly why this video is made for you, to help you break the cycle, to fuel your ambition, and to guide you toward a strategy that ignites unstoppable success. Your breakthrough starts now. 6 months from now, you will arrive at one of two places, exactly where you are today, or standing in a life you barely recognize because of how far you've come. The difference between the two outcomes isn't luck. It's not a miracle or some overnight hack. It's a decision, and it starts right here, right now. Let me tell you a story. A young man stood in front of his mirror one cold morning and realized something painful. He was tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep can fix, but a deeper exhaustion. He was tired of the excuses, tired of the waiting, tired of watching others move forward while he stayed stuck. He didn't have any special advantages, no connections, no sudden inheritance, no followers, no fame. But that morning, he said something simple. "I've had enough." And that moment wasn't loud or dramatic. It wasn't captured on video or turned into a viral post. But it was the spark, the beginning of a quiet war inside himself, a war against comfort, distraction, fear, and self-doubt. He made a plan, not a perfect one, not even a complicated one, just a 6-month roadmap. He didn't need the entire staircase, just the next step. And day by day, he took it. Some days he woke up with fire. Other days, he dragged himself out of bed, barely moving. But every day he showed up. And 6 months later, he wasn't rich. He didn't go viral. He didn't make it. But he became someone entirely new, stronger, sharper, disciplined, focused, unrecognizable in the best way. Because inside he had changed forever. Now ask yourself this: what could you become in 6 months? Not someday, not in some vague future, but 6 months from today. Can you picture it? Can you feel it? The world will tell you success is a leap, some big, flashy moment. But real success? It's not loud, it's not glamorous, it's not always fun. Real success is boring, it's invisible, it's built in silence. It's waking up early when no one's watching. It's putting your phone down and picking up the book. It's working out when your mind says no. It's doing the same small thing day after day until one day, everything's different. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week, but underestimate what they can do in 6 months. They want quick wins, overnight success, and zero discomfort. But that's not how growth works. And deep down, you know it. That quiet voice inside you, the one that whispers, "You're meant for more." It's not wrong. It's not naive. It's the truth. And it's been waiting for you to act. That's why you're here. Not to be hyped up for 5 minutes. Not to get a temporary shot of motivation. You're here because something inside you knows it's time. Time to stop talking. Time to stop scrolling. Time to start becoming. So what exactly is the 6-month success plan? It's not a formula for fame or a fast track to wealth. It's a blueprint to rebuild the foundation of who you are, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. It's about becoming someone you respect when no one else is around. This plan isn't about chasing some fantasy version of success. It's about building habits, systems, and routines that make success inevitable. Think of it as a personal revolution. 6 pillars, 6 months, 1 mission: become the person your future needs you to be. And it starts with consistency, because motivation fades, inspiration dies, But consistency, that wins every single time. Here's what this plan gives you: a clear direction. It's not magic. It's not mystical. It's just structure, the kind most people lack. It breaks your growth into digestible, doable steps. Each day becomes a building block. Each week, a checkpoint. Each month, a new level. No fluff, just focus. But before you dive in, I need something from you, something real, a commitment, not to me, not to this video, but to yourself. For the next 6 months, I need you to promise. I will show up. I will keep going even when it gets hard. I will stop waiting for the perfect moment. I will stop quitting on myself. That's the starting line, right here, right now. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need all the answers. You just need to begin. Because the truth is, you're not lacking time. You're lacking alignment. Once you align your habits with your goals, everything changes. And no, it won't be easy. You'll face resistance. Your mind will try to trick you. Your past habits will fight to pull you back. But you'll push through. And with every small win, your confidence will rise. And when that starts to happen, when you start seeing the proof in your own actions, you'll become unshakable. This is more than a plan. It's a rebirth. A redefinition of who you are and what you stand for. You don't need to wait for January 1st or a Monday or some random sign. All you need is a choice, a line in the sand, a moment where you say, this is it. This is your moment. So grab a notebook, mark today's date, set a timer for the next 180 days, because the version of you that exists 6 months from now, they're waiting, watching, hoping, and if you show up, truly show up, they will thank you for the rest of your life. Let's begin. Part 1, Pillar 1 Mindset, Reset. If you want to change your life, the first place you need to start isn't your body, your job, or even your habits. It's your mind. Everything begins in your mind. Your actions, your decisions, your reactions, your results. And if you don't change the way you think, no change will last. You might see a burst of progress for a week or two, maybe even a month, but eventually you'll revert back to who you've always been. That's not because you're weak. It's because you're running an old program. Mindset isn't a buzzword. It's your operating system. And if you don't update it, you'll keep crashing in the same ways, over and over again. Most people think of success as a result of talent, opportunity, or luck. But mindset, that's the hidden force behind it all. The right mindset can make the impossible seem possible. It can help you turn failure into fuel and obstacles into opportunities. The wrong mindset, on the other hand, will make you sabotage your own progress before you even take the first step. You'll talk yourself out of it. You'll convince yourself you're not ready, not worthy, not capable. And the worst part is, you'll believe it. That's why this 6-month journey begins with your mind. Before you build a new life, you need to build a new internal reality. Because you don't attract what you want. You attract what you believe. If deep down you believe success is something that happens to other people, that discipline is something you just weren't born with, or that you're always destined to fail, you'll live according to that story. And that story will quietly write your future. But here's the truth. Beliefs can be rewritten. Mindsets can be rebuilt. And you can change the narrative if you choose to. For the next 30 days, your job is to retrain your mind. Not by wishing, hoping, or waiting for the right mood, but by doing the work. Just like you train a muscle, you train your mindset. That means feeding it, challenging it, and rewiring it every single day. Let's begin with how you start your day. What you consume first thing in the morning becomes the tone of your entire mindset for the next 16 hours. Most people wake up and instantly flood their minds with distraction. Emails, bad news, social media. They go from asleep to anxious in 10 seconds flat. Not you. From now on, your mornings are sacred. You use them to fuel your mind. The moment you wake up, you own your mental space. Read 10 pages of something empowering, a book that sharpens you, challenges your old thinking, inspires new belief. Listen to 15 minutes of motivational audio, whether it's a podcast, a speech, or a segment of an audiobook. Then, write down one powerful belief you're choosing to adopt that day. It could be something simple like, I am consistent, or I follow through. It doesn't have to be poetic. It just has to be true to the person you're becoming. Now, let's talk about journaling. This isn't just a feel-good habit. It's your mental gym. It's where you work through the resistance, the fear, the doubt, and the dreams that scare you. Every day, spend 5 to 10 minutes writing. Reflect on what you're grateful for, what you're working toward, what's standing in your way. Ask yourself questions. What's one belief I'm carrying that's not serving me? What am I afraid of? And what will happen if I keep letting that fear drive me? Through journaling, you'll begin to see your patterns. And once you can see them, you can break them. Another powerful piece of the mindset puzzle is what you allow into your head throughout the day. The people you listen to, the content you consume, the conversations you entertain, these are all mental inputs. Garbage in, garbage out. You cannot expect a strong mindset while spending 6 hours a day watching mindless content or gossiping with people who have no intention of growing. It's time to audit your inputs. Unfollow anything that drains you. Limit conversations that make you small. Replace 30 minutes of scrolling with 30 minutes of learning. Start protecting your energy like your life depends on it, because in a way, it does. Now let's move to identity. You cannot become someone new while clinging to who you've always been. Identity is powerful. It shapes your behavior even more than your goals do. If you see yourself as undisciplined, you'll always act undisciplined, no matter how many goals you set. But if you start identifying as someone who follows through, someone who doesn't make excuses, someone who gets things done, you'll begin to live that way. So every day, visualize the version of yourself you're becoming. Speak their identity out loud. I am focused. I am resilient. I execute without excuses. Say it until your nervous system believes it. You don't fake it until you make it. You repeat it until you become it. And still, some days will be hard. Some mornings, you'll wake up and feel completely disconnected from this new identity. That's normal. That's where the reset comes in. Here's a quick but powerful technique, the 90-second rule. When your mind starts spiraling, whether it's anxiety, doubt, or fear, pause. Stop everything. Breathe deeply for 90 seconds. Speak a shift into existence. This thought doesn't control me. I'm in charge now. Then change your state. Get up, move, stretch, walk, jump, anything. Motion changes emotion. It's not magic. It's science. And it works. This is your foundation. For the first month, don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about results. Your goal is mental momentum. Feed your mind. Control your inputs. Journal your process. Affirm your new identity. And when doubt comes, which it will, shift quickly and move forward. You are becoming someone who doesn't quit on themselves. Someone who doesn't negotiate with laziness. Someone who follows through. And something amazing will happen around the 4-week mark. You'll start to believe, not because someone told you to, but because you'll see the proof in your own actions. You'll look back and realize, I've shown up, I've followed through, I'm building something, I'm becoming someone. That's when you'll realize you don't just have a new mindset, you have a new standard for your life. And from this new standard, anything becomes possible. Part 2. Physical mastery. Build the foundation. Your body is not separate from your success. It's the foundation of it. You cannot expect clarity, energy, or consistency if your body is tired, neglected, or underperforming. And yet, most people chase success with their minds while dragging their bodies along like an afterthought. But here's the truth. Your physical state influences everything. Your discipline, your focus, your emotional control, even your confidence. If you want to build a better life, you must first build a stronger vessel to carry you there. Let me be clear. Physical mastery is not about vanity. It's not about having six-pack abs or impressing people at the gym. It's about control. It's about proving to yourself that you can command your body the same way you're learning to command your mind. When you train your body, you are training your self-respect. Because every time you push through a workout, every time you show up when it would be easier to skip, you're telling yourself, I don't quit on me. The beautiful thing about physical transformation is that it doesn't lie. You can't fake strength. You can't shortcut endurance. You either did the work or you didn't. That's why training is so powerful. It gives you visible, undeniable proof that you are evolving. And in the early stages of change, proof is fuel. So what does physical mastery look like in this 6-month plan? It's simple. Not easy, but simple. You don't need a fancy gym or a celebrity trainer. What you need is consistency. Intensity comes later. Start by making a commitment to move your body every day. Not occasionally, not when it's convenient, every single day. That might mean a 45-minute workout, a long walk, yoga, or bodyweight exercises in your living room. What matters is the habit. You are showing your brain, day after day, this is who I am now. Aim for 5 structured workouts a week. That could be strength training, cardio, mobility work, or a mix. On the other 2 days, active recovery. Stretch, walk, breathe. Movement is medicine, not just for the body, but for the mind. It clears your thoughts. It sharpens your focus. It resets your emotional baseline. You'll be amazed at how many so-called mental problems begin to dissolve when your body is strong and energized. Let's talk about walking. Yes, walking. It sounds basic, but it's one of the most underrated tools for transformation. Commit to 10,000 steps a day. Not because it's a trendy number, but because it gets you outside, moving, away from screens, and into momentum. Some of your best ideas, decisions, and breakthroughs will come during those walks. Make it non-negotiable. Now the elephant in the room, nutrition. You cannot out-train a poor diet. Food is fuel, and what you eat determines how you feel, how you think, how you recover, and how you perform. This isn't about restriction, it's about respect. Respect your body enough to nourish it properly. Aim to eat clean 80% of the time. That means whole foods, lean proteins, vegetables, complex carbs, water over soda, real over processed. It's not about perfection, it's about pattern. Your job is to learn what fuels you and what drains you. Track it. Notice how your body responds to certain foods. Notice what gives you sustained energy versus short-term spikes. You don't need a PhD in nutrition to eat better. You just need awareness and intention. Hydration, too, is critical. Most people are walking around in a state of low-grade dehydration, and they wonder why they feel tired, foggy, or irritable. Start each day with a large glass of water. Set a goal for daily intake. A good starting point is around 3 liters, or more if you're training hard. It sounds simple, but mastering the basics is what separates amateurs from achievers. Sleep is another pillar of physical mastery that people love to overlook. Hustle culture will tell you to grind 20 hours a day, but your biology says otherwise. Sleep is where recovery happens, where your brain consolidates memory, where your muscles rebuild, where your hormones reset. If you're serious about high performance, guard your sleep like it's sacred. Set a bedtime. Create a wind-down routine. Avoid screens before bed, and watch how your mood, energy, and clarity skyrocket. Now, let's address pain, the physical kind. If you've been sedentary or if you're carrying old injuries or stiffness, training might feel uncomfortable. That's okay. Pain doesn't mean stop. It means pay attention. Learn the difference between injury and discomfort. Stretch, mobilize, recover. Take care of your body like it's your most important tool, because it is. Understand this. Your body will resist in the beginning. It's not used to this version of you, but the more you show up, the more it will adapt. Your energy will rise, your posture will improve, your hormones will regulate, your self-image will evolve, and most importantly, your standard will elevate. There is something deeply spiritual about physical discipline. It reconnects you to your power. It reminds you that you are capable of more than you thought. And every drop of sweat becomes a symbol of your commitment to growth, to excellence, to the future you are building. Over the next 6 months, don't chase perfection. Chase progress. One more rep, one more walk, one more healthy meal, one more night of real sleep. That's how strength is built. Not in big, dramatic moments, but in quiet, relentless repetition. You don't need to be the strongest person in the room, but you need to be the one who keeps showing up. That's what physical mastery looks like. It's not about domination. It's about devotion. So, as you move forward into this next phase of the journey, remember this. Your body is your anchor, your engine, your temple. Treat it with care. Train it with respect, challenge it with love, and watch how every other area of your life begins to rise with it. Part 3. Daily Discipline. Mastering the Mundane. Discipline is the difference between a dream and a result. It's the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and the bridge is built one small decision at a time. Most people think greatness is about talent or timing or luck. But if you study the people who have actually built something that lasts, whether it's a business, a body, a mindset, or a movement, you'll find one common thread. They do the boring stuff. Daily. Discipline doesn't always feel good. It's not always inspiring. There will be mornings where you're not motivated, when you'd rather hit snooze, when no one is watching. Those moments define your path. Because discipline isn't about how you act when it's easy. It's how you move when it's hard. It's how you show up when there's no applause, no comfort, no spotlight, just you and the work. The truth is, most people don't lack goals. They lack systems. They have the vision. They talk about the dream, but they don't have a process that they follow every single day. That's where daily discipline comes in. If you want results that last, your actions must outlive your emotions. So how do you build it? Start by understanding this. Your life is the result of your daily habits, not what you do once in a while, not what you plan in your head, not what you intend to start next Monday. Your life is what you do consistently, without fail. That means every day you're building either momentum or regret. You're moving forward or slipping back. There's no standing still. And that's good news, because it means you're always in control. Even if you mess up today, you get to start fresh tomorrow. Discipline gives you that power. To build unshakable daily discipline, you must create structure. Chaos kills focus. Structure creates freedom. Begin with a non-negotiable morning routine. This doesn't need to be 2 hours long or complicated. It needs to be consistent. Wake up at the same time each day. Make your bed. Move your body. Read something empowering. Review your goals. Even just 30 intentional minutes in the morning can reshape your entire day. It's not about the length. It's about the intention. Discipline is also about saying no. No to the things that don't align with your vision. No to the distractions that feel good now, but cost you later. Every yes has a cost. Every time you say yes to something pointless, you're saying no to something powerful. Protect your time like it matters, because it does. Use the daily 3 rule. Every day, choose 3 key tasks that move you closer to your long-term goal. Not 10, not 50, 3. Then commit to finishing them no matter what. These are your non-negotiables. Do them before anything else. Let them become your compass, your focus, your promise to yourself. Discipline doesn't just live in action, it lives in follow-through. It's finishing what you start, even when the excitement fades. It's showing up for yourself like you would for your best friend. Because self-respect is built through consistency. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, you earn a little more of that respect. Remember this: your brain craves patterns. And every time you complete a habit, your mind starts to wire it as normal. Over time, that behavior becomes automatic. It becomes part of your identity. That's why the first 30 days are so critical. You're not just building habits, you're building proof. Proof that you can be consistent. Proof that you can trust yourself again. It's okay to start small. Start simple. Wake up on time. Drink your water. Get your workout in. Do your deep work. Turn off distractions. Go to bed with a win, not regret. Stack these small wins day by day and watch how your confidence begins to rise. One powerful tool to reinforce discipline is tracking. What gets tracked gets improved. Use a simple habit tracker or journal. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I do what I said I would do? If yes, check the box. If no, be honest and recommit. This is not about shame. This is about clarity. You're holding yourself accountable, not beating yourself up. Let's also talk about resistance, because it will come. Discipline means pushing through resistance. Resistance to wake up early. Resistance to finish the task. Resistance to face fear, to stop scrolling, to start speaking up. Resistance isn't a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're doing something that matters. Lean into it. Let it make you stronger. There's no perfect routine. There's no one right system. But the principle remains. Choose a process and stay with it. The goal is not to be rigid. The goal is to be relentless. Flexible in method but firm in purpose. Life will throw distractions, emergencies, and curveballs. But discipline is the skill of returning to the path again and again. Some days your discipline will look like a hard workout and 10 completed tasks. Other days it might look like getting out of bed and choosing not to quit. Celebrate both. Show yourself grace, not excuses. And here's what happens over time. The hard stuff becomes automatic. The hard decisions become the default. You stop arguing with yourself about whether to do the work. You just do it. And that's when your power skyrockets. That's when you become unstoppable. Not because you're perfect, but because you are consistent. Daily discipline is the quiet engine of all success. No one claps for it. No one posts it online. But it's the reason some people keep rising while others stay stuck. Discipline compounds. It turns intentions into identity. It makes success inevitable. So, as you enter this next phase of your 6-month journey, ask yourself, what are the daily decisions that shape my destiny? What actions will I commit to, no matter what? You don't need to feel ready. You just need to start. Today. Again tomorrow. Again the next day. Discipline is not a trait. It's a skill. And now, you're mastering it. Part 4. Skill and knowledge. Elevate your value. There comes a point in every transformation when you realize that mindset and discipline aren't enough on their own. Yes, they build your foundation, but what you build on top of that foundation is what truly sets you apart. And that structure, that next level, it's built with skill and knowledge. If you want to become valuable in the world, if you want to elevate your income, your impact, your confidence, you must become skilled. You must become dangerous in your field, not average. That requires focused learning, relentless practice, and an obsession with growth. Here's the reality no one likes to admit. You are paid in direct proportion to the value you provide. Not just effort, not just time, value. And value is determined by your ability to solve problems. The bigger the problems you solve, the more you earn, the more you grow, the more you lead. So the question becomes, what problems are you learning to solve? And how much time are you devoting to leveling up those skills? You can't fake mastery. You can fake confidence. You can fake energy. But you can't fake skill. In a world where most people are distracted and average by default, becoming world-class at something, even one thing, makes you rare. And rare is valuable. So in this part of the journey, you're not just working harder, you're working sharper. You're going to build your skill set with purpose. Whether it's public speaking, copywriting, design, leadership, coding, coaching, or content creation, pick your lane and start building. Not someday. Now the first step is clarity. What is the one skill that, if mastered, would unlock the most opportunity in your life right now? Not 10 things, just one. The skill that scares you, challenges you, excites you. The one that aligns with your goals. Write it down, circle it, commit to it. This becomes your focus for the next 6 months. Next, create your learning system. Don't rely on random tips from social media. Build a curriculum. Choose 3 to 5 books, courses, podcasts, or mentors that will teach you the fundamentals of that skill. Then schedule daily or weekly time to study, to absorb, to sharpen. Learning is not passive, it's active. Take notes, apply, reflect, adjust. But here's the key. Don't just consume, execute. Reading about success doesn't make you successful. Watching videos about speaking doesn't make you a speaker. Practice makes it real. Block time every week for deliberate practice. Not just doing the skill, but breaking it down, studying your performance, and improving one piece at a time. Let's say you want to become a great communicator. That doesn't mean just reading books on communication. It means recording videos, giving presentations, asking for feedback, speaking when it's uncomfortable. It means reviewing your delivery, finding your weak points, and tightening them every single week. You want to be great at business? Start one. Sell something. Build a brand. Launch a product, even if it fails. Because failure in practice is still education. You can't build real-world confidence without real-world reps. This is how professionals are made. Not just students, but performers. And don't make the mistake of waiting until you're ready. You'll never feel ready. The secret is, you learn fastest when you're under pressure, when you commit publicly, when you take on a challenge that's just slightly above your current level. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens on the edge of your ability. Track your hours. If you want to master a skill, put in the reps. Malcolm Gladwell made the 10,000-hour rule famous, but you don't need 10,000 hours to be dangerous. You need about 100 hours of focused, consistent, deliberate practice to become better than 95% of people in any given field. That's 3 to 5 hours a week for 6 months. That's within your reach. And here's something else. Document the journey. Take notes. Reflect weekly. What are you learning? What's improving? What's still weak? Build a record of your evolution. Not only will it give you momentum, it will show others what's possible. Share your journey if it helps you stay accountable. Let people see the behind-the-scenes grind. It's not about showing off. It's about showing up. Let's talk about information hygiene. In a world where content is endless, you must guard your mind. Don't confuse consumption with growth. Just because you follow 100 business influencers doesn't mean you're becoming an entrepreneur. Most people are drowning in information and starving for execution. Choose 5 voices to learn from, people with real results, and tune out the rest. Noise kills clarity. Also, don't neglect foundational skills. Even if you're chasing mastery in a niche, never stop sharpening the fundamentals: communication, time management, decision-making, emotional intelligence. These are the skills that carry over into every area of life and multiply everything else you do. And remember this: you don't rise to the level of your goals. You rise to the level of your skill. That's why 2 people can have the same dream, the same opportunity, the same resources, but one succeeds and the other stalls. The difference is skill. The difference is execution. The difference is preparation. So for the next 30 days, double down. 1 skill, 1 hour a day, total focus. Read, practice, reflect, apply. Track your progress. Show up even when it's hard. Stay with it even when it's boring. Because mastery isn't a moment. It's a mindset. 6 months from now, you will have the results of what you're building today. You could be an expert. You could have your first paying client. You could be leading your own audience, business, or brand. You could be earning from something that started as just an interest, but you chose to get good. You chose to commit. This is how value is created. This is how income grows. This is how freedom begins. Part 5. Financial focus build the wealth mindset. Money isn't everything, but let's be honest. It's something. A powerful something. Not just because of what it can buy, but because of what it represents. Freedom, control, options, and most importantly, responsibility. Your relationship with money is one of the most important relationships you'll ever develop. And for many, it's one of the most broken. That's why, in this phase of the journey, we shift from just working hard to working smart, from chasing income to building wealth, from surviving to creating abundance. Here's what you need to understand. Financial transformation begins long before the bank balance changes. It starts in your mind. If you still think like a broke person, you'll stay broke, no matter how much money you earn. That's because poverty isn't just about a lack of cash. It's about a lack of awareness, a lack of confidence, a lack of control. The rich think differently, not just about money, but about value, risk, and ownership. So let's rebuild the foundation. First, know your numbers. Too many people are financially stressed because they're financially blind. You cannot master what you don't measure. Sit down, right now, and look at everything. Income, expenses, debts, savings, investments. No judgment, just truth. Clarity is power. When you know exactly where your money is going, you regain control. You stop bleeding cash on habits that don't serve you. You stop wondering where it all went at the end of the month. And you start telling your money where to go before it disappears. Next, build the budget, but not like the boring, restrictive budgets you've been told about. Build a purpose-driven plan for your money. Every dollar should have a job: to build, to grow, to support, to invest, to save, or to enjoy intentionally. Use the 70-20-10 rule as a starting point. 70% for living, 20% for saving and investing, 10% for giving. Adjust based on your situation, but always include saving and investing. Why? Because if you don't pay your future self first, you'll always be trapped in the now. Let's talk about debt. For many, it's the heaviest weight they carry. If that's you, don't run from it. Face it. List every debt: amounts, interest rates, minimum payments. Then make a plan. The debt snowball method, starting with the smallest balance first, or the avalanche method, starting with the highest interest rate, both work. The key is momentum. Each time you pay something off, you reclaim power. You start to breathe. You prove to yourself, I am no longer a prisoner. Now, saving alone won't build wealth. You must learn to invest. And that starts with educating yourself. You don't need to become a stock market expert or a crypto wizard overnight. But you do need to understand the basics: compound interest, index funds, real estate, passive income. Start simple. Read one book. Follow one trusted financial educator. Watch one course. Knowledge compounds just like money does. You're not trying to get rich quick. You're trying to build wealth slowly and smartly. Here's a mindset shift that changes everything. Stop trading time for money. It's the most limited, exhausting form of income. Instead, build assets. Skills that pay, products that sell, investments that grow, businesses that operate. You want to reach a point where money works harder than you do. And the only way to get there is to start now, even if it's messy, even if it's small. If you have a job, that's great. Use it to fund your mission, but also begin building something on the side: a service, a skill, a brand, a business. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow, but you do need to stop relying on one stream of income. The average millionaire has 7. Even building just 2 or 3 puts you ahead of 90% of the world. Money is not evil. It's not greedy to want more. It's greedy to hoard it, to fear it, to waste it. But when you manage it well, money becomes a tool for freedom, for impact, for generational change. Now let's talk about generosity. True abundance isn't about hoarding. It's about giving without fear. The more you give, the more you realize how little control money has over you. Whether it's $5 or $5,000, give with purpose. Not because you have to, because you choose to. It reminds you that you have enough. It keeps your heart open. And it always, always comes back. And finally, learn the game. Study wealth. Not the flashy Instagram kind, but the quiet, steady, boring kind. The kind that lasts. Learn how taxes work. Learn how businesses are built. Learn how wealthy people protect and multiply their income. The more you learn, the less you fear. Because wealth isn't a mystery, it's a skill. So what does this look like for you over the next 30 days? Simple. Track every dollar you spend. Review your financial reality honestly. Create a monthly spending plan. Pay off one small debt or automate a saving habit. Read one financial book. Start learning about one investment type. Your journey starts now. You've heard the plan. You've walked through the 5 pillars that will transform your life in the next 6 months. Mindset, discipline, planning, skill, finance, influence. Each piece alone has power, but together they create a force unstoppable. This is your blueprint for success, not some vague idea or empty promise, but a practical, actionable, life-changing roadmap. And the truth is, the only thing standing between you and the success you crave is one choice: to start. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need every answer. You don't even need motivation every single day. What you need is commitment. The commitment to show up, even when it's hard. The commitment to keep going, even when you feel tired or discouraged. The commitment to believe that your future self is worth every ounce of effort you put in today. Remember, success is not a magical moment that just happens to lucky people. It's the sum of small, consistent actions repeated daily. Stand up, take control, and start walking the path that leads to your success. One step at a time, one day at a time, one victory at a time. Because your story isn't written by chance, it's written by choice. And today, you choose to become unstoppable.